Splat! His shoe stepped into the sewage, splashing up a large wave of murky water. A rat, not much smaller than a cat, was scared and scurried past Li Yan. The air was filled with the rotten smell emanating from the fishball processing factory behind this building. No matter how legendary the Kowloon walled city, this slum appeared in the eyes of people in later generations. Dirt and decay were its true colors. The glitz and glamour within the city were inaccessible to Li Yan at the moment. Li Yan's thumb was wrapped around a string of keys, belonging to a room in the apartment building in front of him with its mottled walls. The keys were given by Red Ghost as a welcome gift, so he wouldn't have to squeeze into a room with lower-level fighters. This place was only 15 minutes away from the Kowloon Arena on Longjin Road, which was convenient for Li Yan. Fighters in the Dragon City needed to find a suitable manager, also known as a Dragon City groom. When and how the fighters went on stage was arranged by the manager. Before, Li Yan's manager in Dragon City was a small-eyed fat man named Fat Bo. Now, his manager was naturally Red Ghost. Compared to Fat Bo, who could only show off at the fourth stage, Red Ghost was a famous figure in the whole Dragon City arena. He started boxing at the age of 13 under the name of Chen Minhong, and became the master of the sixth stage at the age of 21. He was fierce and heavy-handed, which was how he got his nickname, Red Ghost. After retiring, he started working for Tai Sui and became one of the most trusted managers by Tai Sui's side. Even the chairman of the committee, Wu Haoshi, would greet Red Ghost with a smile when he saw him. It was a big celebration for people like Fat Bo to fight under Red Ghost, but at this moment, Li Yan, who had skyrocketed in Fat Bo's eyes, was rummaging through his pocket for a few dozen dollars in change, looking upset, without any hint of self-satisfaction. 300 yen floating points, that's a total of 3 million Hong Kong dollars, should I rob a bank? Although the taper gave Li Yan the time of 3 yen floating events to raise these 300 yen floating points, Li Yan obviously couldn't wait that long. He wanted to get it all at once. In the Kowloon walled city in 1986, he wanted to earn 3 million Hong Kong dollars within a month. Meow. Li Yan looked down to see a ginger kitten pacing back and forth at his feet, occasionally bumping its nose against his leg. Ah me. A childish girl's voice came from the stairs. Li Yan looked up to see a 13 or 14-year-old girl on the stairs. She was wearing a washed-out white shirt, barefoot, soft and weak, looking a bit shy. Meow. The kitten, hearing its owner's call, jumped up to the girl in a few leaps, purring in its throat. Sorry, sir, Ami always likes to run around. Li Yan smiled, your cat is very cute. He walked into the apartment, looking for the room number Red Ghost had told him. Little girl, do you know where room 413 is? The little girl nodded, picked up her cat, and gestured for Li Yan to follow her. After about a minute or two, the little girl stopped and pointed to the number on the room next to her. Here it is. Thank you, little girl. Here, let me give you some candy. Li Yan pulled out 2 milk candies from his pocket and handed them to the little girl. He had bought the candy on Longjin Road to alleviate his pain. Ah Xiao, who are you talking to so late? A woman's voice, a bit hoarse and clearly lacking energy, came from the room across from Li Yan. Nothing, Mom, I went downstairs to find Ami. Seeing the candy in Li Yan's hand, the girl hesitated for a moment. Hearing the voice from the room, she hurriedly said goodbye to Li Yan and went back to her room. Li Yan unwrapped the candy wrapper, stuffed a piece of milk candy into his mouth, and didn't think much of it, taking out his key to open his room door. Having a mother and daughter across the door was better than having some troublemaker. At least for now, Li Yan didn't want any trouble. The room was small but clean. But the strong fishy smell from the fishball factory behind the apartment was too strong, and could be smelled even with the doors and windows closed. Li Yan just needed a place to stay, so he didn't mind. He just tidied up a bit and fell asleep, late at night, in a gambling den. Open. 12 points, big. As the dice stopped rolling, the middle-aged man in a disheveled suit with a receding hairline slumped to the ground, still reeking of alcohol. Some of the people gathered around the gambling table were exultant, some were gnashing their teeth, but no one looked at him, as if this man, looking as if he was about to have a heart attack, was just a pile of trash to be swept onto the street. Come on, place your bets. The dice roller, black-toothed tie, had messy hair and yellow teeth biting half a cigarette, was shouting with a red face. Wait, I'm still betting small this round. The middle-aged man with red eyes screamed hoarsely. Bring the money, old man. Black-toothed tie swallowed a mouthful of phlegm, shouting at the middle-aged man in a cocky tone. He had sharp eyes and naturally saw that the middle-aged man had no money left. If he dared to say something provocative like betting with his fingers, Black-toothed tie would have him dragged to the back, stripped naked, and thrown into the sea to feed the sharks. The middle-aged man's lips were trembling as he took out a flat wooden box from his bosom. How much is this worth? When the wooden box was opened, there was a light yellow rice paper inside. The paper was embossed with gold patterns, depicting a lifelike Kuei ox with golden hair visible all over its body, standing on one foot on the ground, sitting and howling at the sky. The back of the paper was filled with tiny characters. Without a second thought, Black Tooth Tai slapped the wooden box and the rice paper inside onto the middle-aged man's face. "Fuck you, bringing a box of toilet paper here to exchange for money? Do you need hell money? If you don't have money, get lost." The middle-aged man staggered back, with 2 streams of blood flowing from his nose to the ground. He got up and walked out, grumbling all the way. "You don't know what's good, it's an antique." He dusted himself off and stumbled out, not realizing that walking drunk on the narrow streets of Kowloon City was the most conspicuous. "Brat, talking nonsense," he was still complaining, but didn't notice a figure approaching him from behind. Taking advantage of his distraction, a cement block in his hand hit him hard on the back of the head. The middle-aged man fell to the ground, and the man crouched down and frantically searched his pockets, but found nothing. Just when he was frustrated, he caught a glimpse of the impressive gold-embossed rice paper in the man's hand. Without thinking, he snatched it, looked around to see that no one was around, and turned to leave. At that moment, a hand suddenly grabbed his pant leg, tripping him to the ground. The middle-aged man was covered in blood, moaning in pain. "Help, help!" The man was trembling all over, desperately trying to kick the middle-aged man's chest to make him let go, but the middle-aged man's hand was tightly clenched and wouldn't let go. He gasped for breath, anger rising from his heart, reaching for the blood-stained cement block he had just thrown on the ground, raising it high with both hands. With a heavy smash. Bang! Li Yan's palm came down hard, hitting his opponent's face and knocking him out instantly. "This young man is sharp, he's won 5 matches in a row tonight. What the hell, this guy is clearly not at the 4th level, why is he still fighting?" Red Ghost leaned against the edge of the boxing ring, waving his hand to signal Li Yan to come down. "What's up, Red Ghost bro?" Li Yan asked half-jokingly. Red Ghost gave a wry smile. "If you keep fighting like this, even an idiot would blindly follow you, making me lose money on my ring. Come with me, your last match tonight is in the big ring." "Alright. Where to?" Red Ghost threw his cigarette butt on the ground. "Fui building."